Hello everyone, and welcome back to STEINS. I'm G, and we are about to head into the meat and potatoes of this game. We've been introduced to the Future Gadget Lab, and let's start. I step back from the monitor. Displayed on the screen is the ugly cute character, Alpaca Man. This is a game called Alpaca Man 2, where you speak to Alpaca Man via microphone and watch him react. The game exploded in popularity when it was released 10 years ago, but personally, I find only the ugly part of ugly cute to be true. I bought it yesterday, 500 yen used, headset included. I turn to Daru with a menacing glare. Shut it, Haka. I'm no Chunibyo patient. I sweep my hair back and flash a devilish grin. I am Hoin Kyoma. That's your character's name, right? Oh, Daru. Your communication skills are beyond repair. I'll have you know, I go to a ton of offline meets, and I'm always the life of the party. This fat, bespectacled guy is my brother-in-arms and right-hand man, Hashida Itaru, nicknamed Daru. He's a hardcore otaku. You can always find him in front of the computer, playing games and watching anime. He has 2D wives on whom he cheats with 3D maids. I don't agree with his preferences, but to him, anything's fine, as long as it's moe. He's the reliable and skilled partner who brings my ideas to fruition, despite his insistence that software is his forte, he shows remarkable aptitude with hardware as well. Ow! The needle bit my finger! Over here, nursing a pricked finger, we have Sheena Mayuri, a 16-year-old high school student, if you can believe it. I've known her since we were both small. We already introduced Mayuri, though, in the prologue? She's also an otaku, nowhere near Daru's level, though. This ditzy girl is in charge of the lab's official costume division for women, and today she's working on costumes at her usual leisurely pace. Why does the Future Gadget Laboratory need costumes? For women? It doesn't. The truth is that Mayuri is completely useless. Still, there's no way I would ever kick her out. After all, she was the first one to join the Future Gadget Laboratory. I still remember the day Mayuri first came to the lab. It was spring. She said to me, "Mayushi is Okarin's hostage. I belong here." Well, that certainly was cryptic. But her offer was my salvation. For she was the first to join me on my magnificent quest. She saved me from a solitary life on the run from the organization. I will never forget her kindness. Mayuri doesn't have to be useful. Her being here is enough. So, did Alpaca Man say anything? Nope, nothing. The human-faced alpaca inside the monitor was completely unresponsive. So unresponsive you'd think the game was bugged. Whatever. I give up. Never again will I play this boring game. Damn antisocial alpaca! I curse his name and smack the TV. As soon as I do... The TV makes a sound like it shorted, and then the screen goes blank. I change the channel. Nothing. Check the power cable. Nothing. Whack it again. Nothing. I guess it's broken. Damn. This crummy TV is on lease from the Brown Tube workshop downstairs. It's probably just old. You made Mr. Alpaca angry! Damn. I'll have to get it repaired later. I turn off the TV and lie down on the couch. I'm fed up with the humidity of Japanese summers. I stare at a conspicuous stain on the ceiling while fanning myself. I close my eyes. And what naturally comes to mind is that impossible scene I saw an hour ago. They're gone. As I left Radicon, everyone vanished before my eyes. I can't explain it. And it wasn't just the people on the street. The people in the stores, gone. In the restaurants, gone. Even the cars vanished, drivers and all. And it all happened in the blink of an eye. Suddenly, an empty city spread before me. I could still hear the music from the stores, but those catchy melodies were the only sounds of life remaining. Heat was rising from the asphalt in waves, but I felt only a cold chill down my spine. I just stood there, breathless, until... "What's wrong?" Mayuri's voice brought me back to reality. Mayuri hadn't disappeared. She was right there, looking at me with questioning eyes. "Everyone disappeared just now, right?" "Huh? You saw it too, right? Just now, before our very eyes." Panic took hold as the enormity of what had just happened struck me. Unable to control myself, I grabbed Mayuri by her slender shoulders and shook her. "Did you see it, Mayuri? You saw it, right?" "Uh-huh?" Mayuri's head flopped back and forth from my shaking. "I didn't see anything." "You didn't?" I stopped shaking her and looked straight into her eyes. She returned my gaze with eyes clear as glass marbles. "You saw nothing? Nothing at all? There were people here a second ago, weren't there?" "There were?" "Even the store employees are gone. That's impossible by any measure." "Of course they are." Her reply didn't make any sense. "It was like this when we got here." "Oh, I know. You're seeing things, aren't you?" I'm sure it's 'cause of the heat. Do-do-do." How could she laugh at a time like this? I always thought she was a bit strange, but maybe her brain is actually broken. I realized that she couldn't help me. With nowhere else to turn, I looked up at the bright blue sky. There wasn't a cloud in sight. The scorching summer sun shone bright down through the gaps between Akiba's buildings. Naturally, my eyes drifted to the top floor of Radicon, where I had been just a moment before. There it was, an enormous machine like some kind of satellite embedded in the roof of the building where, not 5 minutes before, I had found Makise Kurisu's body in a pool of blood. What happened to her? Just before everyone disappeared, I could have sworn I heard an ambulance siren. Makise Kurisu might still be in that dark, narrow passageway, cold, bloody, and alone. The thought disturbed me, but the question at the forefront of my mind was, what the hell is that satellite doing there? Right before Dr. Nakabachi's presentation, the building shook like a bomb had exploded. The roof door lock had been broken, and beyond it someone had placed a satellite-like machine, shrouded in smoke and glowing dust. When I first saw it, the satellite was on the rooftop. But that's not what I was seeing right now. This satellite had penetrated the top floor of the building, obliterating the room where Dr. Nakabachi's press conference had been held. It must have fallen out of orbit without burning up in the atmosphere, somehow. I knew it was crazy, but what other explanation could there be? The real question was, when did that happen? Mayuri, about that satellite. Yep, what a surprise, huh? What do you mean? What was a surprise? It made a huge kaplow sound. A huge kaplow. It certainly did make a sound. But I don't think it was kaplow. I'd say it was more like zoom. Did that satellite fall out of the sky? Did it? Do you think any aliens were on board? Had I lost my mind? What I had seen didn't match at all with what my Yuri was saying. Suddenly, nothing seemed real. Had I dreamt it all? Hey, you two! Just then, a uniformed policeman ran up to us, his expression stern. What do you think you're doing here? This area is off limits. You have to leave. We're sorry. First, my good man, let's call you Officer A. I have one question. Officer A? Thousands of people just vanished. You saw it too, didn't you? What are you talking about? Get out of here. I was quickly losing confidence in my own memories. I decided to tell him about Makise Kurusu and get him to call an ambulance, but before I could... Look, I don't have time for your nonsense. The policeman took me by the upper arm and said, No one got stabbed at Radikan. What? How could he say that with such certainty? While I was still trying to comprehend the situation, the policeman forcefully led us away. We were escorted up to UPX and released. There were people at UPX like usual. Actually, there were far more people than usual. The place was packed. Just as Officer A had said, Chuodori had been blockaded by police, so nobody could enter. There was nothing we could do, so we headed back to the lab. And that brings us to the present. I'm baffled. Did the whole hour since the beginning of Nakabachi's presentation really happen? I check online for any news. The net is buzzing about the mysterious machine that crashed into Radigan. All of the major stations in Tokyo, even TOTV, are running special bulletins about it. Fortunately, it doesn't look like anyone was hurt, but Chuodori is still closed off. Akihabara Station is jammed with reporters and curious onlookers. Nobody has mentioned anything about the disappearance of thousands of people from Akiba's streets, nor about Makise Kurusu's murder. It's all a mystery. A mystery? I see. So that's it. From the sofa I spring to my feet, a wide grin on my face. Daru and Mayuri turn and stare. This is all an elaborate cover-up by the organization. Their influence has corrupted local law enforcement, which means our entire government may already be under their control. My God! But they underestimated me, for I am not so easily played. One day I will expose their deeds and put an end to their reign. Having come to a satisfactory conclusion, I take a celebratory bottle of Dr. P, my favorite soda, from the fridge. The lab has no air conditioning. Ice-cold drinks are essential. Elixir intellectualis. Elixir intellectualis, a drink fit for a genius. Goes better. Ocarine really loves his Dr. P. I pity the man who knows not the greatness of this beverage. Step through the curtain dividing its center, and you'll enter the heart of the future Gadget laboratory, the development room. Just as the name implies, this is the room where we develop future gadgets. Needless to say, it is strictly off-limits to outsiders. Yes, I know the setup is cheap. I would much rather have an airlock than a curtain, but our research budget is already scraping the bottom of the barrel. Besides, what's important isn't money, it's ambition. I poke Daru and bid him follow me into the development room. All of the windows here are weather stripped with packing tape, so it's dim. and hot, almost like a sauna. I've been wanting to buy an air conditioner for the lab, but there's no money for that. We're currently accepting donations. Upon entering the development room, I pick up the lab coat that's lazily draped on the chair and put it on. I always wear a lab coat in the development room, for practical reasons as well as symbolic ones. Daru, however, refuses to wear his. Putting it on and taking it off is apparently too much trouble for him. He can't be bothered to do anything that doesn't interest him. It's men like him who give our generation a bad name. His lab coat, purchased from my own pocket money I might add, just sits on the shelf. It's never been worn, and probably never will be. Daru, is the plan progressing smoothly? What plan? Daru gives me a blank look. I sigh and turn his attention to the table in the middle of the room. Sitting mid new tip microwave oven, hello? I look forward to figuring out what that means. Sitting majestically on top of the table is a commercial-grade microwave oven. It's significantly larger than the newer home models. The plan, as in the plan. Obviously, I'm talking about perfecting Gadget number 8. Oh, that. How was I supposed to know what you meant? We've known each other for, 3 years now? We went to high school together, and now we're going to the same university. We share an inseparable bond, like prison cellmates. He's only been a lab member for 2 months, though. We were in different classes junior year, and actually we didn't talk at all, so 2 years? Details. The point is we've known each other a long time. I expect you to keep up with me here. Nope. Awkward silence. Man, all I wanted to do was have one of those cool cryptic conversations where we talk about plans and preparations and other important sounding stuff, but no one knows what it means except us. Shut down again. So, are we any closer to figuring out what's wrong with Gadget number 8? Not yet. So far, the Future Gadget Laboratory has completed a total of 8 inventions. As I explained to Alpaca Man, the lab's primary goal is to develop weapons for the war against the Dark Dominion led by the organization that rules the world from the shadows. At present, we haven't completed any inventions of that sort. On the contrary, we haven't even figured out what we should make. But along the way, we have managed to create some ingenious future-ish gadgets as a byproduct of our research. It is a fundamental truth of science that great inventions are often created by accident. In other words, serendipity. Allow me to introduce our glorious future gadgets. Well, I feel like this is probably a good place to cut it. Next time, we will see what all the future gadgets are and hopefully figure out whether Makise Kurusu is alive or not. So, thank you all so much for following STEINS Gate, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye now.